What you're about to see isn't fiction. These are real encounters captured on camera by solo campers and wilderness explorers. No scripts, no actors. Just raw footage from people who went into remote areas expecting solitude and found something else entirely. Tonight, we're counting down 5 of the most disturbing camping encounters ever documented. Each one was filmed in real time. Each one shows the moment when isolation becomes something far more unsettling. From hidden surveillance in supposed wilderness areas to unexplained sounds that defy natural explanation, these encounters will make you reconsider ever camping alone again. The 5th encounter involves a camper who discovered he wasn't as alone as he thought. The 4th features wildlife behavior that even experts can't explain. The 3rd shows what happens when you camp too close to civilization. The 2nd, well, you'll see why some sounds shouldn't exist in the wilderness. And the 1st encounter is so disturbing that the camper abandoned everything and ran. If you've ever been alone in the woods at night, you'll understand why these moments are so terrifying. And if you haven't, pay attention. Because these encounters prove that some places aren't meant for humans after dark. Make sure you watch until the end because there's a hidden word somewhere in this video. See if you can spot it. Now let's begin. Encounter 5, the abandoned quarry. The first video tonight comes from Stealth Camp Chronicles, a US-based urban exploration and wild camping channel focused on overnight camps in abandoned industrial locations and restricted areas. It is September 14, 2025, at an abandoned limestone quarry in rural Pennsylvania. The location is roughly 40 miles from the nearest town, accessed by a series of unmarked dirt roads and posted no trespassing signs. The camper arrives late afternoon, carrying minimal gear in a small backpack to maintain mobility. He's done this type of camp before. Urban exploration meets wilderness survival, and he's confident in his ability to stay hidden. The quarry itself is massive. Sheer rock faces rise 60 feet on 3 sides, creating a natural amphitheater. At the bottom, decades of rainwater have formed a dark, still pond. The place has been abandoned since the early 1990s. Alright, so we made it. This place is absolutely massive. You can see the old conveyor system up there, completely rusted out. Down here at the bottom, this is where I'm thinking of setting up. It's sheltered from the wind, and more importantly, you can't see down here from the access road. He begins setting up a basic tarp shelter between 2 large boulders, creating a low-profile camp that's virtually invisible from above. A small alcohol stove is prepared for heating water. No fire, too visible. The plan is pretty simple. Get set up before dark, stay quiet, stay low. I've got enough food for tonight and breakfast. The tricky part is going to be noise discipline. Sound bounces around in here like crazy. As he's arranging his sleeping pad, he notices something that makes him pause. On one of the flat rock faces about 30 feet away there are marks. Fresh white paint. Numbers and arrows. That's weird. I didn't see those in any of the photos online. Those look really recent. Like maybe within the last few days recent. He investigates closer with his camera. The markings are surveyor's symbols, standard notations used for land assessment or construction planning. Okay, so somebody's been here recently, doing some kind of survey work. That's not great. That means this place might not be as forgotten as I thought. Have you ever found evidence that you weren't the first person somewhere you thought was abandoned? That feeling when you realize someone else knows about your secret spot? Drop a comment if you've experienced that, because what this camper finds next makes it so much worse. He continues setting up, but now with increased awareness. Every sound seems amplified in the quarry's natural acoustics. As darkness falls, the temperature drops rapidly. The quarry walls trap cold air at the bottom, creating an almost refrigerator-like environment. It's getting really cold down here. I'm thinking maybe 45 degrees. The tarp's helping, but this cold is coming up from the ground. I should have brought a better sleeping pad. Around 9:30 p.m., he's inside his tarp shelter, watching downloaded videos on his phone with earbuds in, when movement catches his eye. A light. At the top of the quarry. A flashlight beam sweeping methodically along the upper rim. He immediately kills his phone screen and stays completely still. Whispered, "There's someone up there. Top of the quarry. They've got a flashlight in there. They're looking down here. Searching." Astros. The beam continues moving, covering the entire upper area systematically. It's not the random sweep of someone just passing by. It's deliberate, methodical. For several minutes, the light continues its pattern. Then it stops, aimed directly down toward the bottom of the quarry, toward his camp. The light stays fixed in that position for what feels like an eternity but is probably only 20 to 30 seconds. Then it turns off, Complete darkness. Whispered, "They turned it off. I don't know if they saw me or not. I don't think they could from up there, my tarp is pretty dark, but I don't know." Asterisk. He waits, listening. The quarry amplifies every sound, distant traffic on a far-off highway, whine through the old equipment, his own breathing. Then he hears it. The unmistakable sound of boots on gravel. Coming down the access path. Coming into the quarry. Whispered, "Oh shit. Someone's coming down. They're coming down the path." Asterisk. The footsteps are slow. Careful. Whoever it is, they're trying to be quiet, but the loose rock makes stealth impossible. From his position, he can see the entrance to the quarry floor. A figure emerges from the path. Dark clothing. No flashlight now. Just moving through the darkness like they know the terrain. The figure stops. Stands completely still for several minutes. Then begins walking along the quarry wall, staying in the deepest shadows. Whispered, "They're circling. They're walking the perimeter. They're looking for something. Or someone." Asterisk. The figure continues this pattern for nearly 15 minutes. Walking. Stopping. Listening. Always staying to the edges. At one point, the figure stops less than 20 feet from the tarp shelter. The camper can hear them breathing. Heavy. Labored. Like they're tired from the walk down. Then the figure does something that makes his blood run cold. They speak. Not to him. Not to anyone. Just speaking out loud. "I know you're down here somewhere. I saw your car at the upper lot. You shouldn't be here. This is private property." The voice is male. Older. Come. Too calm. "If you come out now, we can talk. If you make me find you, it's going to be a problem." The camper stays frozen. He's parked his car at an old access point nearly a mile away, hidden in trees. There's no way this person saw it unless they were specifically looking. The figure waits. Silence. Then begins walking again, this time toward the center of the quarry floor, toward the dark pond. Last chance. "I'm not going to ask again." More silence. Then, without warning, a flashlight clicks on. Bright. Tactical. The beam sweeps across the entire quarry floor in one smooth motion. It passes directly over the tarp shelter. For a split second, the camper is certain he's been seen. But the beam keeps moving. Completes its sweep. Clicks off. Footsteps. Moving back toward the access path. Slower now. More deliberate. The figure climbs back up. The sound of boots on gravel fades away. Whispered, "Holy shit. Holy shit. They're leaving. I think they're actually leaving." Asterisk. He waits another 30 minutes before moving. When he's confident he's alone again, he starts packing. No noise. No light. Just systematic disassembly of his camp. Whispered, "I'm getting out of here. I don't care what time it is. That wasn't security. That wasn't a property owner. That was something else. The way they talked. The way they moved. That felt wrong." Asterisk. He exits the quarry using a different path than he entered, climbing up the rock face on the opposite side to avoid the main access route. When he reaches his car, there's something on the windshield. A piece of paper tucked under the wiper. He films it with his phone light. It's a printed notice. But not an official trespassing warning. It's a photograph. Aerial view of the quarry. With multiple points marked in red marker. Each point is labeled with a date. His camping spot from that night is marked. With today's date. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? Someone's been mapping people who come here. I'm calling the police. The video ends with him driving away, promising to follow up. In the description, he notes that police did investigate and found evidence of someone regularly monitoring the quarry. No arrests were made. The property was sold shortly after to a private buyer. The quarry is now fenced and gated. What makes this encounter disturbing isn't violence or aggression. It's the implication. Someone was systematically tracking visitors to this remote location. Mapping them. Documenting them. For reasons that remain unknown. If this first encounter already has you on edge, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Because we're just getting started. The next 4 encounters only get more disturbing. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming. Encounter 4, the Moose. The next horrifying video comes from Northern Exposure Camping, a Canada-based wilderness survival channel focused on solo multi-day camps in extreme cold conditions and remote boreal forest. It is January 18, 2026, in remote boreal forest, Northern Ontario, Canada. Temperature, -22 degrees Fahrenheit, not including wind chill. The camper is experienced. Former military. He's done winter survival courses and has camped in these conditions dozens of times. He knows the risks. Hypothermia. Frostbite. and wildlife. Day 3 out here. Temperature dropped hard last night. I'm thinking we're sitting around -20, maybe colder. The good news is the shelter's holding. Hot tent set up with a wood stove. As long as I keep feeding it, I stay warm. He's set up in a clearing about 6 miles from the nearest logging road. Deep snow. Limited visibility due to dense spruce and pine. His shelter is a canvas hot tent with a portable wood stove venting through a metal chimney. The area is known for moose. Large populations. During winter, they're more active and more aggressive due to limited food sources. Saw some moose tracks about 100 yards from camp this morning. Big ones. Bull probably. I'm not worried though. I've been making noise, keeping the stove smoke going. They usually avoid human presence. Hidden word, hollow. He spends the day gathering firewood, melting snow for water, and maintaining his shelter. Standard winter camping routine. As evening approaches, he's inside the tent, stove burning, preparing a freeze-dried meal. That's when he first hears it. A low, guttural sound from outside. Not quite a growl. Not quite a bellow. Something in between. That's not a good sound. That's a bull moose. And he's close. He kills the lantern. Reduces the stove to minimum heat to lower smoke output. Sits in near darkness, listening. The sound comes again. Closer now. Maybe 50 yards. Okay. He's moving toward camp. That's not normal. They should be avoiding the smoke, the human scent. He should be moving away, not toward. Through the canvas tent wall, he can hear heavy footsteps. The crunch of snow being compressed under enormous weight. Then the sound of breathing. Right outside the tent. Labored. The kind of breathing that comes from a massive chest cavity. Whispered, he's right outside. Maybe 10 feet from the tent wall. I can hear him breathing. The tent canvas ripples. Something is pressing against it from the outside. Gently at first. Then harder. The entire structure shifts. The camper braces his back against the opposite wall. Whispered, he's pushing the tent. If he decides to come through, there's nothing stopping him. A bull moose can weigh 1,500 pounds. This canvas won't hold. The pressure releases. Footsteps circle the tent. Slow. Methodical. The animal is investigating. Then silence. No movement. No breathing sounds. The camper waits 5 minutes. 10 minutes. Nothing. He carefully opens the tent flap a few inches. Just enough to peer out with his headlamp. What he sees makes him immediately close the flap. Whispered, he's standing there. 20 feet away. Just standing there. Staring at the tent. Not moving. Just staring. In the brief glimpse he saw it clearly. Massive bull moose. Antlers easily 5 feet across. Steam rising from its nostrils in the frozen air. But something was wrong with its behavior. Moose are prey animals. They startle. They flee. They avoid confrontation unless cornered or protecting young. This one was just standing there. Watching. Like it was waiting. Whispered, this isn't right. I've been around moose my whole life. They don't act like this. They don't just wait. An hour passes. The camper remains inside, occasionally checking through the small gap in the tent flap. Each time the moose is there. Position slightly changed, but always facing the tent. Always watching. Around 11 p.m. it finally moves. But not away. Closer. It approaches the tent slowly. Stops at the canvas wall. And then, impossibly, it begins making a sound the camper has never heard before. Whispered, what the hell is that sound? That's not, moose don't make that sound. The vocalization is high-pitched, almost like a whale song, undulating, rising and falling in tone. It continues for nearly 2 full minutes, then stops. Footsteps, moving away, fading into the forest. The camper waits until dawn before exiting. In the snow around his tent he finds tracks. They circle the tent completely, multiple times. But there's something else. Disturbed snow in a specific pattern, like the moose had been pawing at the ground, repeatedly, in the same spot. I don't know what that was about. I've never seen a moose behave like that. I've never heard one make sounds like that. And this pattern in the snow, it's almost like it was trying to communicate something. He packs up his camp that morning and hikes out a day early. In the description, he notes that he contacted a wildlife biologist about the behavior. The biologist confirmed it was highly unusual but suggested the moose may have been sick or injured, affecting its behavior. But the camper remains unconvinced. The methodical circling, the watching, the vocalizations, none of it fit any documented moose behavior pattern. This encounter is disturbing because it breaks expectations. Moose are predictable. This one wasn't. And when animal behavior defies explanation, it creates a specific kind of unease. The kind that makes you question what you think you know about the wilderness. That encounter with wildlife acting in ways it shouldn't is unsettling enough. But the next encounter takes that same uncertainty and amplifies it. Because what happens when the sounds you hear don't match any animal you know? Keep watching. Encounter 3, the suburban camp. The next chilling video comes from UK Stealth Camps, a British urban camping channel documenting overnight camps in suburban woodlands, parks, and green spaces within city limits. It is March 8, 2026, in a small patch of woodland between a residential neighborhood and a railway line in Birmingham, England. The camper is setting up a hammock and tarp system in what he describes as probably the riskiest camp I've done. The location is barely 200 yards from the nearest houses. A footpath runs along one edge of the woods. The railway is visible through the trees on the opposite side. Right, so this is mental, isn't it? We're basically camping in someone's backyard. But technically this is public woodland, it's just nobody comes here because it's so small. The plan is to get set up quietly, stay dark, and be gone before morning. He strings his hammock between two oak trees, rigs a camo tarp overhead, and creates a small ground pad for his pack. The setup is minimal. No fire. No lights except his phone. The biggest risk here isn't wildlife. It's people. Dog walkers in the morning, teenagers at night, and God knows what else. But that's what makes it interesting, yeah. As darkness falls, the sounds of suburban life surround him. Cars on nearby streets. A train passing. Someone's TV through an open window. Around 10 p.m. he's settled in the hammock, watching downloaded shows on his phone with earbuds in. That's when he notices movement. Someone walking through the woods. Not on the footpath. Through the trees. With a flashlight. He immediately removes his earbuds and stays still. The person is maybe 40 yards away, sweeping their flashlight back and forth through the underbrush. Like they're searching for something. Whispered, "Someone's in here." They're not on the path. They're in the woods. Searching for something. Asterisk. The figure moves methodically through the area, checking behind trees, under bushes. The flashlight beam is bright and focused. Then it stops. Aimed directly at his location. The camper doesn't breathe. His hammock is dark. His tarp is camo pattern. But the light is pointed right at him. For 30 seconds the light doesn't move. Just stays fixed on his position. Then it turns off. Complete darkness. Footsteps. Moving toward him. Fast. Whispered, "Oh fuck. They saw me. They're coming this way." Asterisk. He can hear branches breaking. Someone moving through the underbrush without care for noise. Then a voice. Mel. Aggressive. "I can see you, mate. I know you're there. Come out." The camper stays silent. Frozen. "I said come out. I know you're fucking hiding in there." The footsteps get closer. Within 20 feet. 10 feet. Then they stop. Right below the hammock. A flashlight clicks on. Pointed up. Illuminating the hammock and tarp. The camper's face is visible for a split second before he shields his eyes. The person holding the light is young. Maybe late 20s. Wearing all black. Face partially covered with a balaclava. "What are you doing here?" The voice is accusing. Threatening. Just camping. "I'm not causing any trouble. This is my spot. You need to leave. Now." "Your spot? This is public woodland." "I don't care. This is this is my area. You need to get the fuck out." The person's hand moves to their jacket pocket. Grip something. The camper makes a decision. Survival over pride. Okay. I'm leaving. Just give me a minute to pack up." "You've got 2 minutes? Then I'm coming back. And if you're still here?" The person doesn't finish the sentence. Just turns and walks back into the darkness. The flashlight turns off. The camper scrambles out of the hammock, pulling everything down as quickly and quietly as possible. Hammock, tarp pack. Everything stuffed haphazardly. He's moving toward the footpath exit when he hears them again. 2 voices now. The first person has returned with someone else. He's over there. By the path. The camper breaks into a run. Hits the footpath and sprints toward the nearest street. Behind him he hears pursuit. 2 sets of footsteps. Running. He reaches the street. Residential area. Street lights. Parked cars. The pursuit stops at the edge of the woods. The 2 figures stand there watching him from the darkness. He doesn't stop running until he reaches his car 3 streets over. Breathing heavy. What the fuck was that? Who the hell? They said it was their spot. What does that even mean? Their spot for what? Asterisk. In the description, he notes that he reported the incident to local police, but they said without a specific threat or theft, there wasn't much they could do. He never went back to that location. What makes this encounter disturbing is the territorial behavior. These weren't random passers-by or concerned residents. They were claiming ownership of public woodland, patrolling it, and willing to confront and chase someone for being there. The implication is clear. That small patch of woods was being used for something. And they didn't want witnesses. This is why camping near civilization is sometimes more dangerous than deep wilderness. You're not dealing with animals operating on instinct. You're dealing with humans who have reasons for being in hidden places. Reasons they don't want discovered. Comment below if you think he should have stayed or if running was the right call. Because the next encounter shows what happens when you can't run. Encounter 2, The Knock. The next shocking video comes from Alone in the Wild, a US-based solo camping channel focused on extended trips in national forests and wilderness areas with emphasis on natural sounds and minimal narration. It is November 22, 2025, in remote National Forest, Oregon. Estimated 15 miles from nearest road access. The camper has hiked in deep. This is a 4-day trip. Heavy pack. Full winter gear. The area is designated wilderness. No vehicles, no structures, just forest. He sets up a 4-season tent near a creek. The location is ideal. Water source. Natural windbreak from a rock formation. Good drainage. Day 1. Made it to the spot. Took longer than expected with the snow, but I'm here. This is as remote as it gets. Haven't seen another person since the trailhead parking lot. Standard camping routine. Set up tent. Gather firewood. Filter water. Prepare food. Evening falls. Temperature drops. He's inside the tent, bundled in his sleeping bag, stove heating the interior. Around 8 p.m., he hears something that doesn't fit. 3 knocks. Evenly spaced. Wood on wood. That sounded like knocking? Like someone knocking on wood. But that's impossible. There's no one out here. He listens. Nothing. Just wind. Creek. Normal forest sounds. 5 minutes later. 3 more knocks. Same pattern. Same rhythm. Okay, I definitely heard that. That's not a tree branch. That's too deliberate. He unzips the tent and shines his headlamp into the darkness. Nothing visible. Dense forest. Shadows. Hello? Is someone there? No response. Just silence. He gets back in the tent. Tells himself it's a woodpecker. Odd for nighttime, but possible. 20 minutes later. 3 knocks again. Closer this time. Maybe 50 yards. Then 3 knocks from a different direction. Behind the tent. There's 2 of them. 2 sources. That's not a woodpecker. Woodpeckers don't coordinate like that. He grabs his bear spray. Keeps it within reach. The knocking continues. Every 10 to 15 minutes. Always 3 knocks. Always from different locations around the camp. This is a known thing, right? The 3 knocks? I've heard about this. People report this in forests. 3 knocks. Nobody knows what causes it. He's referencing a phenomenon reported by campers and hikers for decades. The 3 knocks or wood knocking sounds heard in remote forests. Explanations range from territorial primates to unknown nocturnal animals to natural phenomena. But no definitive answer exists. Around midnight, the pattern changes. 3 knocks. Right next to the tent. So close the vibration carries through the ground. The camper doesn't move. Doesn't make a sound. Then he hears breathing. Outside the tent. Close enough to hear distinctly over the creek and wind. Slow. Steady. Deep breaths. Whispered, there's something outside. Right outside. I can hear it breathing. Asterisk. The breathing continues for several minutes. No movement. No footsteps. Just breathing. Then it stops. Silence. 3 knocks again. From the same spot. Right next to the tent. The camper makes a decision. He can't stay here all night paralyzed by fear. He shouts. Loud. Aggressive. Hey! Get away from here. Get away. Immediately, movement. Fast. Heavy footsteps running away from camp. Crashing through underbrush. Whatever it was big enough to make significant noise moving through dense forest. The footsteps fade. Silence returns. The camper doesn't sleep that night. Sits upright in his sleeping bag, bear spray in hand, listening. The knocking doesn't return. But around 4 a.m., he hears something else. Footsteps again. But slower this time. Circling the camp. Staying at the edge of visibility. Every few minutes, they stop. Then resume. Always maintaining distance. This continues until dawn. As soon as there's enough light to safely navigate, he packs up and hikes out. Doesn't bother with breakfast or coffee. Just packs and leaves. I'm not staying here. I don't know what that was. I don't know if it was an animal or something else. But I'm not waiting around to find out. On the hike out, he notices something. Tree bark stripped away in vertical patterns. Fresh. Multiple trees. All within 100 yards of his camp. This wasn't here when I hiked in. I would have noticed. Something did this last night. While I was at camp. The pattern is consistent. Long vertical strips removed from tree trunks. Too high for deer or elk. Too deliberate to be natural. He films it all. Documents the location. Reports it to park rangers. Their response, likely bear marking territory. But the pattern doesn't match typical bear claw marks. What makes this encounter disturbing is the systematic nature. The knocking following a pattern. The circling behavior. The breathing. All of it suggests intelligence. But what kind of intelligence remains unknown? And that uncertainty, knowing something was out there, watching, circling, knocking, is what makes it truly unsettling. Before we get to the final and most disturbing encounter, make sure you're subscribed. Around 70% of people watching aren't subscribed yet. We're working toward 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Now, let's get to the final encounter. And I'm warning you, this one ends with the camper running for his life. Encounter 1, the tree line. The last video of the night comes from Solo Survival Camps, a US-based wilderness camping channel following solo trips into extremely remote backcountry with focus on self-reliance and extended isolation. It is December 3, 2025, in remote wilderness, northern Idaho. The camper, who goes by Walker, is on a 10-day solo trip in one of the most isolated regions of the lower 48 states. No cell service. No trails. No other campers for miles in any direction. He's set up a base camp near a clearing. Tent. Fire ring. Food hung properly in a bear bag. Everything by the book. Day 4. Weather's holding. Temperatures are brutal at night but the shelter's good. I'm burning through firewood faster than expected, but there's plenty around. Standard routine. Gather wood. Melt snow for water. Maintain fire. Read. Sleep. Day 5. Morning. While gathering firewood about 100 yards from camp, he notices something odd. Tracks in the snow. Boot prints. Not his. Different pattern. Larger. I've got tracks here. Fresh. Maybe from this morning. Definitely not mine. Which means someone else is out here. He follows them. They lead through the trees, paralleling his camp at a distance of about 70 yards. They go on for maybe 300 yards, then circle back. They circled my camp. They were watching from the tree line. Who the hell is out here? And why didn't they make contact? He returns to camp. Checks his gear. Nothing disturbed. Nothing missing. But the knowledge that someone was watching changes everything. That night, he keeps the fire going. Stays alert. Around 1 a.m., he sees it. Movement at the tree line. Just beyond the firelight's reach. A figure. Standing between two trees. Perfectly still. There's someone out there. At the tree line. They're just standing there. He grabs his flashlight. Points it at the figure. In the beam, he sees a person. Wearing winter camouflage. Face obscured by a balaclava. Just standing there. Watching. Hey, can you hear me? Are you okay? No response. The figure doesn't move. I'm armed. Identify yourself. Still no response. But the figure takes one step forward. Into the light. Then stops. Just inside the edge of visibility. The camper notices details now. The person is carrying something. A rifle. Slung over their shoulder. They're armed. They've got a rifle. What the fuck is this? The figure stands there for what feels like minutes but is probably only 30 seconds. Then, without warning, they raise one hand. Point directly at the camper. And speak. Voice muffled by the balaclava but clear enough. You need to leave. Now. The camper's heart is pounding. This is public land. I have every right to be here. You need to leave. Before morning. Or you won't leave at all. The figure lowers their hand, turns, and walks back into the darkness. The camper grabs his bear spray, his knife, sits by the fire, watching the tree line. No sleep, just watching, waiting. Around 3 a.m., he hears them again. Multiple sets of footsteps, moving through the forest around his camp. Not trying to be quiet anymore. Boots crunching in snow. Voices calling to each other. East side clear. Nothing on the north. He's still at the fire. They're coordinating, searching the perimeter, making sure he knows they're there. The camper makes his decision. He's not waiting until morning. He starts packing. Tent comes down. Gear stuffed into pack. Fire kicked out. As he's packing, a voice from the darkness. Smart choice. He doesn't respond. Just keeps packing. Within 15 minutes, he's ready. Pack on. Headlamp on. Moving. He navigates by GPS, heading toward the nearest logging road. 8 miles through darkness and snow. Behind him, he can hear them. Following. Maintaining distance but definitely following. Every time he stops to check his GPS, they stop too. When he moves, they move. 4-5 miles, this continues. The sun starts to rise. Gray dawn light filters through the trees. Finally, he reaches the logging road. His vehicle is another 2 miles down the road at a pullout. He breaks into a jog. Running on frozen gravel. Pack bouncing. Breathing hard. The pursuit stops at the tree line. He risks a glance back. 3 figures. Standing at the edge of the forest. Watching him go. He doesn't stop running until he reaches his truck. Breathing heavily, I'm out. I'm at the truck. They're still back there. I can see them. At the tree line. Just watching. Asterisk. He gets in. Locks the doors. Starts the engine. As he drives away, he films through the rear window. The 3 figures are walking back into the forest. Disappearing. I don't know what that was. I don't know if they were hunting or patrolling or what. But that wasn't random. That was organized. They knew I was there. They tracked me. And they wanted me gone. In the description, he notes he reported the incident to the Forest Service. They said they'd increased patrols in the area but found no evidence of illegal activity. No poaching camps. No grow operations. Nothing. Just 3 people in the middle of nowhere, enforcing some kind of territorial boundary for reasons unknown. What makes this the most disturbing encounter is the organization. This wasn't one confused person or aggressive animal. This was multiple people, coordinated, armed, and willing to make threats to protect something. And whatever they were protecting in that remote forest remains a mystery. That's it for tonight's 5 most disturbing camping encounters. Each one was real. Each one was caught on camera. Each one shows what can happen when you venture into remote places. If these encounters gave you chills, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next video. We're working toward 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and your support really does make a difference. Did you spot the hidden word? Let us know in the comments. Stay safe out there. And remember, just because a place looks empty doesn't mean you're alone. There's always someone or something watching from the tree line.